Cars lined up. This is excitement. This is pretty much all of Victorian motorsport got their eyes on this short bit of tarmac. The Gardner straight, can't work out whether it's Frank or Wayne. It's a four-wheel weekend. It's got to be Frank Gardner, doesn't it? Oh, it's Wayne Gardner. Of course it is. MotoGP. All of that. But we have got the 50K plate for your delight. Everyone's phones are absolutely ready to record the start line. Stu Eustace, Tony Groves banging it off the rev limiter with their marked cars. Michael Robinson gets left standing. Greg Lynch looks at that. Ippolito gets right up the inside of the 97 and he charges, splits the field, wants the title desperately. And have a look at that. Michael Robinson has disappeared back 3 spots off the start there, but gets the 32 motivated and leaves Greg Lynch absolutely in his dust. Marked cars side by side. Tony Groves wants it this time. He's not letting Stu get away with it. And have a look at Francois Habib, using that ex-supercar to absolute great weaponry as he comes out of turn 2. Truan there as well, used the good horsepower off the line. Tim's in the mix there as well. Graham Gilliland had a drive shaft issued, Cam, and they've changed that, and he's in the mix. Lynch, massive lock-up there for Lynch. That will not be good, and I think he's actually gone straight on there as well because he hasn't kept his spot, or has he?
No, he has, yeah.
He has, yes, he definitely has, because Francois Habib has gone through on Disco Stewie Eustace in the Navigator entry number 90, and right in the background there is Michael Robinson. The interesting thing here, Cam, is that over about the last 15 years, this has been 10 laps. This is 12 laps. This is taking it to a true 50-kilometre journey, and this is going to be very interesting. Maybe we're just watching Michael Robinson go, I know what my car's like after 10 laps here. I just have to nurse it to that point.
There'll be a lot of laps for these guys. I wouldn't have thought they'd done 12 laps too many times before, so it's interesting to see how the cars hold up.
The national guys would have. They've regularly done 12 lap and 14 lap races here as well. Earlier this year, no, they had a couple of races shortened due to Trans Am crashes, but they thumped their way down the straight. That beautiful sound of Sports Sedans lighting up the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit for the Ramada Resort by Wyndham here at Phillip Island. Tony Groves, he is reaching out for the championship. He's got 352. He is in the lead. John Ippolito really needs to get on with this. He really needs to push on pretty hard because at the moment it is going to be Tony Groves' title. Here comes the big black Poltec, number 32. Looks down the inside of Francois Habib. Just eases on by. Michael Robinson is one of these guys that many Sports Sedan races, it's all fists and knees and charging at it. Michael Robinson very much dances on his toes and his fingertips. Very deliberate car placement over many, many years of driving these cars. He's worked out the way just to make them, finesse them around a lap of the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit.
Stewart's having a go at Francois there. Looks like he's got him on the outside. Yep.
Yeah, and this is, this is interesting. This is all championship contention stuff. We're talking about the 50K plate here, and that's all Michael Robinson is here for this weekend. He wants to put a number 5 of one of those in his trophy cabinet, and boy, oh boy, wouldn't you want to? It's arguably the biggest single trophy for Sports Sedans in the year. Steve Truan just battling. It's like he's got his own demons inside the VL just to be battling with at the moment, isn't it? Trying to get through on Greg Lynch, you'd have to say on paper, the silver car would have to be the weapon of choice here. But the guys at Ravage Motorsport, Dean and the crew down there, do a terrific job of tuning this car for Greg Lynch.
Big horsepower battle down the straight here.
It'd definitely be the horsepower battle. Let's see how Truan goes. He's got a lot of aero to push through the air, that's for sure. And it looks like Lynch just made
a bit of a gap.
Straight line handling on him there and pulled away. And these behemoths of Australian motorsport motored their way around. 10 laps remain for the 50K plate. There's Greg Lynch.
Well set up car, that Greg Lynch car.
It's always been a nicely handling car. Oh no, this is not what we wanted to see. The number 57 slowing badly down there. All the little winglets and tabs and vents and
he's got his arm waving there.
Different bits and pieces waving the competitors by. There goes Ippolito. There goes Timms. So where is the number 97? Currently in 7th place. So John really does need to get on with it here. He has been the star performer right throughout the season, just chipping away at it, just nicely getting the results, bringing it in here and there.
40 points up for grab in this race. So.
Yeah, he's got a lot more work to do there because at the moment, Tony Groves is taking the bulk of the points, isn't he? And that will give him another Sports Sedan championship. And at the moment, a 50k plate. Michael Robinson is 4.5 seconds a rear with 9.25 laps left to go. It's not impossible as we see Michael Robinson just popping down through the gears down the straight here. There is in sight of Tony Groves. And certainly looking at the lap time at a 1:34.2 for Groves and a 1:34.3 for Robinson. The tyre on Robinson car has traditionally taken a while to come up. Robbo's always taken a fair while to get it on. The number 50 of Matty Horn off the track in pretty much the same spot as what he was earlier on today. That's a shame. There's an AU Falcon there, Cam.
Beautiful car, isn't it?
Doing a great job.
That's my travel partner. That's
David
my racing
Shaw.
partner. Yep, we've done a lot of racing together over the years. He's had an EB before this, and now he's gone to an AU.
So these two just getting together. This is a bit of traditional motorsport. Another replay here. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's where Matty Horn went off at the entry, I guess, at Lukey Heights. And car looks terrific. And good job there to the wrap studio people. There's a bit of debris right smack bang in the middle of the straight there. It looks like an inner guard. The car, we believe, off Matt Horn's car, and that's sitting right in the middle of the straight here. So that is an interesting circumstance we find ourselves in. I'm not sure whether there's going to be a flag out, an oil flag or a deteriorate. No, there's a yellow flag. Yellow flag out, so that needs to be cleared because if there's a run to the line, that will be nullified because you cannot pass under yellow flag conditions. Just looking at to where it goes green again, right at the start line here. Yep. So brave competitor that challenges that one to get past at the on the last lap here. So that is certainly going to come into play in this race. There goes the number 50 of Matt Horn, slowly disappearing off the track. And yeah, that debris is still sitting there right smack bang in the middle of the track with John Ippolito and William Timms, new to Sports Sedan, new to circuit racing. And there it is, beautiful looking car in all its raw carbon fibre, a bit of gloss over the top of it, but boy, I tell you what, if you're going to have carbon fibre, why not just put a clear coat of gloss over it?
It's a beautiful looking car, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, the Mark cars have been very, very smart pieces of kit. Ryan McLeod and the crew over those years have done a terrific job, and of course now with Jeff Taunton taking the reins of that business. Coming down under brakes now, John Ippolito in the 97. You just feel as though he's watching this championship slip away just lap after lap. Hasn't been his greatest weekend at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit.
He's struggled with car setup this weekend. He just hasn't seemed to be able to get it right so far. But
it's really annoying for people who particularly had a great run at it in the middle of the year here at Phillip Island and had it all there. Gee, Tony Groves is going for it. He's at two wheels on the dirt down at turn one. The Mornington Mazda racer, Valvoline supported. And you get the feeling that Michael Robinson is like a shark starting to smell the blood in the water. And
2.5 seconds
fight back.
now.
Have a listen to that thing. Chevy-powered Monaro. Beautiful silhouette, the Australian designed and built Monaro out of Holden. Over 20 years ago now, these Monaros. Awesome pieces of kit. There's our race leader. And 2.4 seconds now is the gap between Tony Groves in P1 and Michael Robinson in P2. And this is the 50k plate. This is the state championship and the Australian Sports Sedan Association championship here right now, unfolding in front of us. And we just hear Graham Gilliland screaming past down the straight. Graham currently sitting in 8th position, leading his class as well, and doing a tremendous job of it. 32 of Michael Robinson fills the Blendline TV screens. Pictures being beamed all around the world. There's lots of people watching from North America and UK, various different places throughout Asia. We welcome you to the coverage here, and for those at the track really enjoying a classic 50k plate race here. Tony Groves running away with it. Michael Robinson just chipping another 0.2 of a second away. Cam, you get the feeling with 6 laps it's going to have to be more than 0.2 of a second a lap, isn't it?
I think so, yeah, but you just never know.
So 1:34.21 is still the fastest car on track, is still car number 80, the car leading the race from Mornington Mazda. John Ippolito here, William Timms in behind. These two have been glued together for the first 6 laps of this race. And they come around what was called Belinda's Terrace all those years ago. And turn 12, less emotionally these days, turn 12. I like names of corners. Down the Weingartner Straight they come. Ippolito and Timms. The number 27 there, doing a very strong job. 2 cars with striking silhouettes and setting some really good lap times. Just getting a look at Ippolito, a 1:43.50. Timms a 1:43.4. So Timms is fastest out of these 2 cars on the last lap around. Here's the AU, David Shaw. Tips it in, truck right entry here. And pushes on down, just trying to catch where he is. 11th on the road in this race for the number 94. Phoenix Oil support. Shaw Fix Engineering. And car looks to be just a little bit lurching a little bit around, coming onto the main straight here. Just a little bit of body roll there. And sounds the goods though. Deep-throated V8 sound, and just avoiding that debris that we've seen on the track here. Coming in behind him is Francois Habib. Will be coming down to lap the Falcon, and the gap is actually out to 3.8 seconds now. So Tony Groves has set a really good lap time, 1:34.2, and I reckon that's a pretty clear signal. Cam, you've been racing these cars in recent times. That's the answer back, isn't it? So word is that Robbo lost that 1.2 seconds at turn 4, ran wide, and trying to gather it all back up again. He's certainly not hanging around, like the car's moving around on the track. He's obviously the forces pushing the car around. Here comes Stu Eustace. Francois Habib is behind him, albeit a fair old gap back to Francois. And he's looking after, I would suggest, and Cam, I'll bring you into the conversation here, that Francois is looking after his second place in the championship.
I would say so, yeah. He was 2 seconds quicker in the first race this morning, but I would say he'd be eyes on the trophy at this stage. Doesn't want to do anything silly.
Let's just absorb this. It's a 12-lap journey for the 50k plate for the Ramada Resort by Wyndham here this weekend. The QP Lubes Victorian Sports Sedan Championship has been a hotly contested award this year. We haven't got Dean Cam at the track here this weekend. Dean had some good results with a very limited entry of race meetings here this year. And Dean always plays a big part of it at Phillip Island. So we remove that wild card from the pack, and we throw in Michael Robinson as we see Greg Lynch, the dentist from the northern suburbs, staying true to his heritage there, just getting a bit of sideways action out of MG. A HSV Club racer for many, many years in this particular car, as was a road car, Club Sport, or I think GDS actually, and was built into a purpose-built floor pan style sports sedan, as we see the Lehman car coming in as well now, the number 7 of Brett Lehman, and he got a black flag for leaking fuel. So that will be, you'd have to draw the conclusion that that's what the issue is there. With 4 laps remaining, the gap between Groves and Robinson is 3.4 seconds. Michael Robinson, if he has got a run in it and he thinks he's got something left, it's about now, Robbo. You want to turn it up in the number 32 as he absolutely thumps down the main straight. They've put a lap on Graham Gilliland in the number 21, and Graham had a question mark over the car with a drive shaft change cam between races.
They did. They did a drive shaft. No, CV joint. It was a CV joint in Graham's car. Looks like the Mustang's sort of starting to get some... Go on the inside of... Oh no, doesn't quite get him. Starting to catch though, John Ippolito.
John Ippolito, the 97 here. Tricky car. Form written down one side and MRC construction up the other. Sucker punch for an inexperienced commentator. That one caught me out many, many times. But have a look at this here. William Timms is handing out sucker punches. He's going to the left and the right. And he's going to stay left at the moment. Ippolito rightfully takes his position on the track there. Turns across as we look to Lukey Heights now back down the main straight. And we're about to see some pretty quick cars come charging onto the main straight here. It's Greg Lynch leading this battle pack from John Ippolito and William Timms. This year's positions 5, 6 and 7 on the road. And doing a strong job in it, albeit for the minor places for these guys. Not on the podium at the moment. It's Tony Groves to Michael Robinson and Stu Eustace. Francois Habib. I feel as though Francois has gone totally into protection mode at the moment. His lap times are good. He's hitting the mark with the 141.1s or 140.1 and doing all right, but he doesn't seem to be throwing out really any challenge because the cars in front of him are doing 36s and 34s. So if he wants to be in the mix there, he's got to really start to push that.
Well,
Bill Timms running a little bit wide there.
These three are going to have a great battle towards the end of the race.
1 3/4 laps remaining in the Ramada Resort by Wyndham, the 50k plate. And we're getting a word that Michael Robinson's lit it up. The gap is now 1.73 seconds between Tony Groves and Michael Robinson. There they are in the same shot. 1.5 laps left to remain. I feel like a guy calling the Melbourne Cup now. It's like it's going to all just come to a conclusion, isn't it, over the next 7 kilometres. Michael Robinson brings the number 32 all up to temp, all up to pace. The big issue that Robbo's got is he hasn't done a lot of racing against Tony Groves, and Tony Groves can be a tricky customer to just blaze on by. He will certainly use the advantages he's got, and Robbo gets a little bit sideways out of MG and lost a bit of real estate there. Coming around onto the main straight, he's got him in his sights now. It's interesting to have him in his sights. It's a matter of catching and trying to get through to take number 5, 50k plate there, but Tony Groves wants it badly as well. Desperately, Tony Groves wants it, and he continues on down there. There's the gap now. They've got them in the same shot around the world. We're seeing the 50k plate playing out in front of us. There's no championship points. There's no battle between these two in either of the club championships or the state championships. This is about the one-off race. Have a look at Grovesy now. He's got the Le Mans flasher on. Letting, is it Francois Habib?
Dave Shaw.
Dave Shaw, no. To get out of the way, Robbo ranges up under brakes. I tell you what, he's making life hard for himself. This is half a lap to go in the 2022 QP Lubes Victorian Sports Sedan Championship in the Ramada Resort by Wyndham. 50k plate. Get up and about, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an absolute champagne finish. Get the judges of fact ready on the line because this will go right to the strike. You get the feeling that Michael Robinson's just got a tiny horsepower advantage, but he has to be in a striking position. The marked car sounds brilliant. Prepared magnificently by the crew at Mildon. They leave no bolt unturned, unchecked. And we have a look now as Tony Groves has got a race winning lead coming out of turn 11 here. Michael Robinson just gets a whole lot of wheel spin, but the marked car comes up on traffic. Wow, will the traffic play in on it? Will this stop Michael Robinson jagging to the left to try and get a run to the line there? But it will be. Tony Groves takes the win over Michael Robinson, just 0.2 of a second.
What a
Mr.
great
4
race.
times, doesn't get 5 times, but Tony Groves is your 50k plate winner for 2022. The Ramada Resort by Wyndham Phillip Island 50k plate taken out by Tony Groves. What a great run there. Michael Robinson, you just feel that Robbo played the game for maybe a lap too long.
Yeah, it was a little bit. And that takes out the championship too for Tony Groves.
Certainly does. Tony Groves will take
Habib
the
second, and
big title.
yeah, Johnny Pilato third.
Johnny Pilato will be certainly a bit disappointed with this weekend. Didn't quite get the car right in the window. Here comes Francois Habib. We'll bring it home into second place for the Victorian Championship. He's done a ripping job of it as well. As they slowly start to all come to the line, Tony Groves is your QP Lubes Victorian Sports Sedan champion and the Ramada Resort 50k plate winner over the true 50k distance. Mike Robinson into P2 and a great drive there in the Poltec Bell Real Estate Monaro. Stewie Eustace ultimately home in third place. That didn't sound good. I wasn't too sure who that came down the straight. It was a double select of a gear. And Francois Habib into P4. John Opolito, then Greg Lynch, Bill Timms, Graham Gilliland into the 10 there. Good drive by Graham. Well done out of the rear of the field. Bell, Shaw, Lehman, Horn, Truen didn't finish there. Chaz Talbot-Backer didn't take the start.
Bosch Motorsport provides technology for racing. Worldwide experience from all major categories of motorsport is in your race car when you use Bosch Motorsport components, ignition system, sensors, fuel delivery and high-end electronics. Bosch Motorsport brings race-proven quality and performance to your motorsport machine. Search for Bosch Motorsport Australia or find us at boschmotorsport.com.au. There's good, there's better, and then there's Bosch. Bosch Motorsport, when quality and performance matter.